Let's talk about something that might trigger a few diehard enthusiasts. Arch Linux is overrated. Now, before you smash your keyboard and accuse me of heresy, hear me out. This isn't a blind attack, and it's not coming from someone who's never used it. In fact, the reason this conversation even matters is because Arch has built such a powerful reputation in the Linux world that criticizing it feels almost taboo. For years, Arch Linux has been treated as the gold standard of technical competence, the badge of honor that separates real users from the so-called casual crowd. But when you strip away the mystique, the memes, and the ego, you start to see something different. You start to see that while Arch is powerful and flexible, it is not the universal masterpiece. It's often made out to be. First, we need to understand where the hype comes from. Arch Linux markets itself around simplicity, minimalism, and user control. The idea is that you build your system from the ground up, installing only what you need, configuring everything manually, and learning every component along the way. On paper, that sounds fantastic. It sounds empowering. It sounds like the purest expression of what Linux is supposed to be. After all, Linux itself was created by Linus Torvalds with the idea of openness and control in mind. The ethos of tinkering, understanding your system, and owning your computing experience is deeply embedded in the culture. Arch taps directly into that philosophy and amplifies it. But philosophy and practicality are two very different things. The first major reason Arch Linux is overrated is that its difficulty is romanticized. Installing Arch is often treated like a rite of passage. You boot into a terminal, partition your drives manually, mount file systems, generate fstep entries, configure networking, install a boot, choose your desktop environment, and hope you didn't Temmie's iSteppy. For experienced users, this might be straightforward. For newcomers, it's intimidating. And yet, the community sometimes frames that intimidation as a feature rather than a barrier. The unspoken message becomes, if you can't install Arch, you don't deserve to use it. That mindset is toxic. Complexity should serve a purpose, not exist to inflate ego. Many other distributions provide graphical installers that accomplish the same end result in a fraction of the time, with far less risk of catastrophic error. There is nothing inherently superior about manually typing every installation step if the outcome is identical. The extra friction doesn't make the operating system better, it just makes it more exclusive. Another reason Arch is overrated is stability, or rather, the trade-off it makes in the name of freshness. Arch follows a rolling release model. That means you always get the newest software as soon as it's available. For some people, that's exciting. You get the latest kernel improvements, the newest desktop features, bleeding-edge drivers, and immediate access to upstream updates. But here's the problem. Newer does not automatically mean better when you're constantly on the cutting edge. You're also the first to experience regressions, broken packages, and unexpected conflicts. Updates that would be thoroughly tested for months in more conservative distributions get pushed to Arch users within days. While the maintainers do a solid job, no roll-in release can completely eliminate the risks inherent in rapid updates. This means that Arch users often have to be vigilant, reading update announcements, manually intervening during major transitions, and troubleshooting issues that simply don't exist on more stable systems. For a hobbyist who enjoys tinkering, this might be fine. But for someone who needs their computer to just work, professionals, content creators, this constant potential instability can become exhausting. The idea that this trade-off is somehow superior is questionable. Reliability has value. Predictability has value. Not everyone wants to be a part-time system administrator just to keep their desktop functional. Then there's the time investment. Arch Linux demands attention. From the initial installation to ongoing maintenance, it requires active involvement. You don't just install it and forget about it. You manage configuration files, resolve dependency conflicts, and monitor system changes more closely than you would on many other distributions. Some people love that. They see it as educational and empowering, and it comes by. But let's be honest, not everyone has the time or desire to micromanage their operating system. We live in a world where productivity matters. Most people use their computers as tools to accomplish tasks. They write code, edit videos, design graphics, browse the web, or play games. The operating system is a means to an end, not the end itself. When maintaining your OS starts consuming more time than the work you do trying to do the balance tips in the wrong direction, Arch often blurs that line. Another element contributing to its overrated status is the community culture. To be fair, many Arch users are helpful and knowledgeable. The documentation is widely praised. The Arch Wiki is arguably one of the best Linux resources on the internet. It's comprehensive, detailed, and often referenced even by users of other distributions. But alongside that helpfulness, there's a reputation for elitism that's hard to ignore. I use Arch. By the way, meme didn't come from nowhere. There's a subtle gatekeeping that sometimes creeps into discussions. New users asking basic questions are occasionally told to read the manual or search the wiki, often with an undertone of impatience. While self-learning is important, dismissiveness can alienate potential contributors and enthusiasts. A thriving ecosystem depends on welcoming newcomers, not intimidating them. Let's also talk about derivatives. Several distributions exist that are based on Arch but aim to remove its rough edges. These systems provide graphical installers, pre-configured desktops, and user-friendly defaults while retaining access to Arch's repositories. The popularity of these derivatives suggests something important. Many people want the benefits of Arch without the full Arch experience. That alone indicates that the base system may not be as universally appealing as its fans claim. The Arch user repository or is often cited as one of its greatest strengths. It's a massive collection of user-submitted build scripts that make it easy to install software not found in official repositories. In theory, this gives Arch unparalleled software availability. In practice, it introduces another layer of responsibility and risk, or packages are not officially vetted to the same standard as core repositories. Users must inspect, build scripts, understand what they're executing, and accept that quality can vary widely. Again, for experienced users, this is manageable. For casual users, it's a potential security and stability concern. The convenience of access to nearly any package can overshadow the fact that you're trusting scripts written by strangers. That doesn't automatically make it unsafe, but it does require a level of scrutiny that many people are not prepared to maintain consistently. Gaming is another area where Arch is often praised. With the rise of Proton and the growing compatibility layer ecosystem, Linux gaming has improved dramatically. Platforms like Steam have invested heavily in making games playable on Linux systems. Arch users benefit from the latest drivers and performance improvements quickly, which can be advantageous for certain hardware configurations. However, the reality is that gaming reliability often benefits more from stability than novelty. A slightly older, well-tested driver stack can provide a smoother experience than a bleeding edge, one that introduces Moreover, for gamers who prioritize maximum compatibility with minimal hassle, Windows developed by Microsoft still dominates. On the creative side, macOS from Apple maintains strong software support in certain professional domains. The point here isn't to say Arch is bad for gaming or creative work, but rather to highlight that being cutting edge doesn't automatically translate to being optimal for every use case. Corporate backing also matters in the broader ecosystem. Distributions supported by companies like Canonical or Red Hat often have structured support channels, enterprise testing pipelines, and long-term release strategies. Arch intentionally avoids that model, favoring community governance and rolling updates. That independence is admirable, but it also means fewer formal guarantees. When something breaks, you're largely on your own, relying on forums and documentation. Another overlooked aspect is the illusion of minimalism. Arch advertises itself as lightweight because you install only what you need. But in modern computing, the difference in resource usage between a minimal base install and a typical mainstream distribution is often negligible on contemporary hardware. RAM is abundant, storage is cheap, CPUs are powerful. The performance gains from extreme minimalism rarely justify the extra effort for the average user. Additionally, many users end up installing a full desktop environment like GNOME or KDE anyway, along with common utilities and services. Actually, at that point, the system isn't drastically leaner than alternatives that provided those components out of the box. The perceived efficiency becomes more psychological than practical. Security is another nuanced issue. Because Arch moves so quickly, security patches arrive promptly. That's good, but rapid updates can also introduce new vulnerabilities before they're widely stable. Release models allow for extended testing cycles. Neither approach is inherently superior in all cases, but presenting Arch's speed as an unequivocal advantage oversimplifies the trade-off. There's also the matter of burnout. Many enthusiastic users install Arch to learn and experiment. They spend weeks customizing everything, tweaking configuration files, exploring window managers, and optimizing workflows. It's fun. It's engaging. It feels empowering. But over Chimmy, that constant tweaking can become tiring. Some eventually migrate to more stable or pre-configured systems simply because they want their computer to fade into the background. This doesn't mean Arch has no value. On the contrary, it's an incredible educational tool If your goal is to understand how Linux works under the hood, building an Arch system from scratch can teach you more in a week than months of using a point-and-click distribution. It forces you to confront bootloaders, Linux systems, networking, package management, and desktop configuration directly. That knowledge is powerful. The issue arises when that educational value is conflated with universal superiority. A system designed for maximum manual control is not automatically the best choice for everyone. Different tools serve different purposes. A carpenter doesn't use a hammer for every task just because it's fundamental. There's also the myth that Arch is inherently faster. Performance differences between distributions running the same kernel and desktop environment are often marginal. Benchmarks rarely show dramatic gaps. User perception can be influenced by the pride of having built the system themselves. When you invest hours into crafting something, you're more inclined to believe it's exceptional. Let's talk about updates again, because this is where the overrated narrative becomes most visible. Arch requires users to stay informed. Major transitions like changes to init systems, display servers, or library versions can require manual intervention. If you skip updates for too long, you risk complex upgrade paths. The rolling model assumes active maintenance. If you treat it like a set and forget system, you may encounter problems. For people who enjoy that involvement, it's part of the charm. For others, it's unnecessary friction. Operating systems should align with user priorities. If your priority is creative output, academic research, or business operations, the constant background awareness Arch demands may not be worth it. Even the famed documentation, while excellent, reflects this expectation of self. The Arch Wiki is comprehensive, but it often assumes a baseline level of technical literacy. It's a reference manual, not a hand-holding guide. That's not inherently bad, but it reinforces the idea that Arch is designed for users who already know or are willing to learn quite a bit. At its core, the argument that Arch Linux is overrated isn't saying it's bad, it's saying the pedestal is too high. The cultural narrative has elevated it to near mythical status, as if using it automatically makes you more knowledgeable or more authentic. In reality, expertise comes from understanding concepts, not from the logo on your boot screen. There are countless Linux users running other distributions who contribute to open source projects, maintain servers, write kernel patches, and build incredible software. Their choice of operating system doesn't diminish their skill. Likewise, someone running Arch isn't automatically a wizard. The distribution you choose is a tool, not a personality trait. The hype cycle around Arch also feeds into online identity. Tech culture loves symbols of competence. Using a complex system becomes a way to signal dedication. But signaling and substance are not the same. A stable, well-configured system that enables productivity is often more impressive than a fragile, heavily customized setup that requires constant repair. In the end, Arch Linux shines brightest when it's used intentionally. If you want to learn deeply, if you enjoy customization for its own sake, if you appreciate being on the bleeding edge and don't mind occasional breakage, it's fantastic. But if you're installing it because you've been told it's the ultimate Linux experience, you may find yourself disappointed. Overrated doesn't mean worthless. It means its reputation exceeds its universal applicability. Arch is a specialized tool that has been marketed by its own community as a universal benchmark. And that's where the distortion lies. It's not the best distribution for everyone. It's not the fastest in every scenario. It's not the most stable. It's not the easiest. It's not the most secure by default. It excels in certain dimensions and compromises in others. So when someone says Arch Linux is overrated, what they're really challenging is the myth. The myth that complexity equals superiority. The myth that bleeding edge equals better. The myth that difficulty equals depth. And the myth that your operating system defines your worth as a user. Strip away the mystique and you're left with a powerful, flexible, demanding distribution that rewards engagement but punishes neglect. For some, that's perfect. For many others, it's unnecessary. And that's why Arch Linux is overrated. Not because it fails, but because it's been elevated beyond reason.